Players Pick Podcast, Picks and Perspective with Chris Johnson. Palpable. Paradox. Polarity. PG. Paranoia. People pleaser. Peaceful. Powerful. Pizzazz. Personal.
Thank you and welcome to Players Pick Podcast, episode 124 with BAXTY, aka Bastian Martinez. BAXTY, thank you so much for jumping on and spending a little bit of time with us today. I'm really excited to chat with you and just get a feel for what's going on in your world these days. I mean, we feel like my friends and the circle that I run with and the Kiesel team, we're just like, man, BAXTY is this rising star. Like, what a cool guy. And we just see you playing with all your heroes too. Like you're collaborating and doing all these
Yeah.
great things. You know, it'd be nice to know, like, what does it feel like to be BAXTY these days?
Of course, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be talking with you again. It's always amazing talk with you. Yeah, this year, dude, has been one of the most crazy years. Right now, dude, I'm really mad with myself because I'm hating the summer a little bit, dude, because here we are close to summer right now. And I spend, I don't know if I can say bad words, but dude, I spent the fucking
Oh, yeah.
summer in Las Vegas 1 week. And it was, dude, it's really hot there. It was my first time. I went to Japan too. The humidity there, oh my God, the place was insane, but the humidity destroyed me 100%. So right now I'm having, the same, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this year. I don't know. I guess my summer has been like 5 months of summer, to be honest. It's one of the worst things ever, So yeah, it's crazy. I have a blast with the guys in the store, in the Kiesel store, in the factory. They were insane with me. I'm really grateful, of course, because I guess, I never thought nothing about this, So right now I'm just enjoying this, Normally I don't think nothing and just keep living my life and enjoy every moment that I have, because I know that will be part of the past, so I will miss that. So I love to be there and just enjoy every moment in that situation. So it was the same in the guitar universe. I just try to connect with myself and with the circumstance. I was like, dude, I don't know if in the future I will have a chance like this. I don't know. Just leave that and enjoy the moment right now, because then you will miss this specific moment in the future. 1 month or 1 year later, you will be like, oh my God, I would like to be there again. So just live with your 100%. And yeah, so it's crazy. It's crazy. Of course, again, really grateful for everything that I'm living. Always try to send that energy back with the people who trust in me, who is supporting me. So I love that, just to be sending that energy back always. Every time when I can, I try to be careful with that and send that same energy back.
That's apparent to me. I mean, it seems like you expect a lot out of yourself, and when people treat you nicely and kindly, and you do your best to repay that exchange of energy. And you've done that with me from day one and with the Kiesel team, and I bet you do that in all your relationships. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and the Kiesel team, for representing the way you do. I mean, quite simply, you just being you, playing the instruments and being the best version of yourself is enough, But I'm curious though, like, can you take us back? Like, what first drew you to the guitar and music? Do you remember any specific moment where you thought, yes, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, so my dad used to play guitar. He had a band here in my country, in Chile. So he used to play. It wasn't, a huge band, nothing. He just played for fun. And, my grandfather used to play guitar too. So he was like a Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin fan, all that kind of music too. Then my dad, of course, he had other kind of musical reference like Pantera, Alice in Chains, all that kind of movement, Dream Theater too. So when, I never discovered the music, always was with me. The instrument, the same, the instrument all the time was with me. For me, guitar is my favorite instrument. I just love that because I guess I can be myself with the instrument without use the words, which is something hard to use sometimes. So for that reason, I guess, for me, guitar was something that always I loved, but I wait until, I had 13 years old because, I always was a shy guy, like really shy, all the time with this kind of a scare guy. So when I, grabbed the instrument, it was when I was 13. I started playing, and my dad was like, he teach me the Smooth on the Water song and Iron Man song too. So he teach me that, and I remember that because I was trying to play that, and I learned that the same day. He was like, dude, that took me 2 weeks to learn that. How you did that? And I don't know. You make that, so I wanted to play like the same. So he was like really impressed for that. So I remember that because it was Christmas, and with my brother we asked to get an acoustic guitar or something like that just to start. We wanted to start playing guitar. So he said, okay, because he had electric guitars, a Yamaha and an Ibanez. And he was like, okay, so if you want to learn guitar, you will use your own guitars. So he bought us an acoustic guitar, a really cheap one. And he said, if you want to play my electric guitars, you need to play correctly the acoustic first. So I spent the whole summer just playing the acoustic guitar, and then he passed me the Yamaha one. It was like a electric guitar. He said, okay, so now it's time to learn about palm mute and a different fretboard feeling. And I was like, oh my God, that feels totally different. And he said, yeah, that is why I did this, because this feels different. So he was really mad with us because we play songs in different tunings, and he was like, dude, you're playing in a different tuning. Train your ears. and with my brother, spend time, listening more things. But that was the way, always for fun. And then, like, I used to play guitar as a hobby. It was like, dude, I love this. I don't need social life. Like, I didn't never had girlfriend in those times. Nothing. It was just play guitar, live for that. So I start to be out of my friends just because I wanted to play guitar every day. I start to jump days for lessons and stop going to the school, like, because I had a really good times in the school. I was a good student, so I had the chance to not go every day. So I say that I need to be a good student just to show to my parents that I can have I can be a good student without be every day in the school. So I jumped some lessons just to play more guitar, and I remember because I woke up like 8 a.m. until the 3 p.m., who was the time of the school, just playing guitar. And I say, yeah, I think I'm losing my time in the school because I would like to have more time playing guitar. I guess I love this. But my dads, of course, they were like really scared about this kind of side way, like the music, and you know how it is. It's like, you can be just a star or a poor guy. You know how it is that people have these attributions about music. And my dad was like, you should look this as a hobby, dude, because I play and never get something back. And, I trust in that thing. I was like really into that, thinking about, yeah, it's just my hobby. I just play guitar. I just love this. And doesn't matter what. I will keep playing guitar because I want to play my favorite stuff, and I would like to make my own things. But never with this idea of be a player, recognized player, and be with my heroes. Nothing, never, because of course it was something totally, I never thought about that. In fact, never was a dream for the same. Because, dude, I never thought about that. Never a dream, nothing. It's like, for me, it was something out of my reach. So then I end the school, and I say to my dad, like, I would like to study in a, musical institute or something like that. And he say, sorry, but I don't have money. So you need to find a university and do that. Or if you want to do that, just make by yourself. And I was like, okay. So I was really mad, of course, because like, oh my God, it's stuffed. And then that year, my mom had a problem in this hospital, so I just take care of her. Like that year, it was 2018. So I learned about, be a mom. A lot of things like that. Like be aware of the house and all the things that a mom does when you're in the school, when when
Right.
your dad is working. So it was a hard time for me because the house started to eat myself. It was like really with a lot of head problems. And, in that time, I remember be playing more guitar, of course, because I had time to make that. And my brother, started to shoot some videos of myself playing, and he put them, he started to put the videos on internet because I never know that. It's like, dude, I don't have Facebook, nothing. So I guess I did my Facebook in 2017 just to talk with my friends, really out of,
Mm.
the times for the same, because I'm not a guy of a technology guys in that way, it's normally I'm really scared of that. So it's like, I don't know. I prefer to talk face to face, have Zoom hangs and things like that, not just texting. It's a little bit
Sure.
bored for me. It's like I can see your face, how you're talking something is hard to understand, the real guy. So
Definitely.
he started putting that, and then I, understood that, like, well, I will just put my videos playing some exercise and my stuff and covers and things like that. And I started using Instagram for that. And I did this other account called BAXTY for the same, because in my school my friends were out of this, out of the metal kind of things, guitar playing, nothing. It was like a nerd thing. It wasn't something cool, of course. Trust me, it wasn't something like, oh my god, this guy is cool. Nothing. It was like, this is a nerd guy who's playing random things. But again, it's something that is like, doesn't matter what you're thinking about. It's like my life. I love this, and I love how sound the instrument, and I feel happy doing this. So that is the most important thing. So after that, I try to post more on Instagram, and I had this kind of, sometimes I post every day and then stop to make that. And then in one point I say, I don't know, I would like to get more views, I guess, because I know I can play guitar, but if I want to make something with this, people need to know me. It's impossible if I can play correctly, but if people is not getting my video, how they will know me? It's hard. So I was stuck in social medias, and I did something really weird, and I start following random people in the niche, like I remember to watch some players, and then I said, yeah, people need to see my videos. And then I tried to get that, and I did that, and I got a lot of people saying me like, dude, I'm not following you. I don't know, I was like, dude, I don't know you neither. Like, it's just in case, It was a weird time. And then I was in the university too. I work in the airport too. So a lot of things happens before to be 100% playing guitar, like posting more and making lessons. It was like a journey with a lot of things. And, life is like that. I learned a lot of things in those times, a lot of different kind of things about human things, like how to be yourself, how to be real and honest with the people. And I understood that, like, the most important things are my feelings, how I'm feeling. And if I want to get something, I need to fight for that. So that time I learned that I really love this instrument. I really love music, because every time when I had bad times, I still tried to make this, to post more and try to eat with this. So then everything started to make sense, and I start, of course, to grow more in social medias. And I did my best. I said, yeah, now this is my work. So I will be Monday to Friday, every day posting something and playing a lot. And, in 2022, I spent the whole year doing that. Just that, every day. And I use my my Saturdays and Sundays to spend time with my girlfriend, because, again, it's really important when you are in this world to have friends, a relationship. Everything needs to be with you. It's really important to have that support with you, because, trust me, again, you can be 1 week and having the most amazing week, like, oh my God, I talked with John Petrucci. And next week, you're alone in your bedroom. You're alone in your bedroom, and you say, dude, my life is still the same. There is when you need that support of your family and people who loves you, because there is when you need that, and it's really important. And then I say that to my students too, dude, be aware of your people around yourself. There need to be people who really love you. Doesn't matter if you can play or not. It's not about the interesting things. Like, it's more about if they just love you. Doesn't matter if you are a good player. Doesn't matter if you're a famous guy or nothing. It's just, they just want to be with you because they spend great time with you.
Man,
And for me, it's really important that
so
it's
true.
one of the most important things. right now. Like have people who really love me with myself and be with me and spend time with them. And yeah, it has been a lot of things happening, but it's part of the life, I guess. Everything teaches you something, which is amazing, right? So it's like just
Yeah.
be there.
There's a lot there. One thing I wanted to go back to that I love that your dad it's a classic thing to have a father or a teacher say, start acoustic and then go to
Yeah,
electric, right? And I love that you put in there that he said to you, okay, now here's the electric. It's a different fretboard feel, different. He had
yeah,
these concepts ready to kind of like help you understand them as you shifted through your phases. I think that's what a cool thing to have, because I mean, I had some great teachers, but my teachers like never talked to me about fretboard radius or feel or any of that stuff. And we talked about action and
yeah,
stuff like that. I feel like I learned about fretboard radius like way
yeah,
later when I joined Kiesel, to be honest. Like because there's multiple
yeah,
fretboard. Now you have a
yeah,
consideration with it. Most
yeah,
people don't think about that. They're like, oh, I like that color guitar, you know. And so I
yeah,
got a green one, you know, and I'm like, yeah, it plays
yeah,
pretty good. I don't know why I like it, other
yeah,
than it feels good. And but that's a really cool insight that your father passed on to you. And I want to say, you know, gosh, what a cool thing for you. I mean, I know it's a challenge, but I'm like really impressed with how you jumped in and took care of your mom and helped do the things that your mom had been doing for the family. And you're talking about how you're like learning these real life things, you know, outside of your guitar, outside of your nerd craft, outside of, you know, like your bubble,
yeah,
and
yeah,
being a person that really reveres the close people to you, that you know that you like hold that. And I can see that you now more than ever probably hold the girlfriend and the family and the friends in much higher regard, because you have a lot of people that are interested in you for your ability online,
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
really good to counteract that with people that you could be the worst guitar player and they love you anyway,
yeah,
and that, like, this is real life, you know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that.
For me, it's really important that be aware of that. Have people who really want you see you, you know, in peace. It's like, dude, you are living your life happy. It's okay. We're happy with that. Because again, you can be doing a lot of things, but having really weird energies coming all the time, bad people choose. So it's important
Mm,
that kind of things. And of course, again, the same thing is really important that because sometimes you will be in touring in I don't know in a place that you never think about that. Like, oh my God, I'm in
mm.
Japan, I'm in USA, I'm in San Francisco shooting a video with Neural DSP. Then 2 weeks later, dude, you are in your bedroom and not talking with anybody, and you're like,
It's almost like,
oh my God,
did
what
that
the fuck is
happen at
going on?
all? Was that
Yeah, it's like, and
a dream?
yeah, and then yeah, and say like, so I did that, but it feels the same. And it's the
Mm,
same because it's part of the process. Takes a lot of time, becomes and more famous, get exposure and make your thing. You need to win your name. You need to put time because this is, it's the normal work. It's like you need to put your effort here. If you want to make
mm,
something, work harder to get that. It's not something that you get something, like, oh my God, I post a Instagram video and I will get the world. No, you need to keep working harder. It's like, I love that kind of examples, like players who spend a lot of time playing, and then they had that energy back. And it's like that. That is the truth, because right now,
mm.
all the people is not trying to get to find, to work on his music. They are trying to get viral videos, nothing more. And
Right.
it's the same, they are trying to get free stuff and things like that. And it's like, dude, we are losing the love of the music, like create things and express
Mm,
something. We are just aware of, we're just, trying to get numbers and likes and things like that, but not to make music. If you ask, it's like the same. It's like the kids when they know I want to play guitar and I will get free things. It's like, dude, I never thought about endorsement because I never knew about that neither. So like my dad, of course, he know a lot of things of guitar, but he never thought about that neither. So I was like, what? I don't know what is an endorsement. So all those things were something new, but I never followed them. I was, dude, I love play guitar. Just that. Just that.
that's the good
Everything
news,
comes
bro.
with that.
Like that what you just described, like that's like probably best case scenario, because as you're laying out here, like if you just do the work and not look for a reward necessarily, but you're like you find yourself in love with whatever the thing is that you're doing. It doesn't have to be guitar, and you do it without, looking for the fruits to immediately pay off, to go a viral video, to get free stuff. If you're not doing it for those reasons, good, good, because then you're going to actually eventually make some good music. You're going to make some music that you're at least happy with, even if the world doesn't
Yeah,
find you, like, and that
yeah,
is its own reward.
yeah. It's that is the point, and I've been understanding more about myself. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking with my girlfriend, and I say to her like, you know what? The only thing that I want is make good music. Doesn't matter if people don't listen that. I want to listen that and have be happy with that. Say to my
Mm,
sons in some future I have kids, say, yeah, I did that, and the story of that. But for me, that is the most important thing. That is the thing that I'm trying to follow. Create good music,
mm,
have good drum sounding, good bass sound, good guitar sound. Of course, that is my responsibility as a player. But as a writer guy, as a musician, is like, for me, it's really important to be writing good stuff
mm.
and be following that. That is my dream. That is my only dream. Like, make good music. Doesn't matter if people like that or not. It's like, dude, I'm happy with that. The only guy who needs to be happy with his music is myself, dude. It's like, I'm doing
That's
that to express something, and people can connect or not. But you know, it's a big world. Like, it's like that. So for me, that is the
that's
most
great.
important thing right now.
That's
So
wonderful, man. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So, when you write or compose a song, can you give us some window into your creative process? Do you start with a riff, a mood, a story, or something else entirely? Is it just something that just kind of bubbles up in you, or do you get outside reflection and through visual stimulus or other people's music? Like, give us some window into how things happen for you.
yeah, I guess it's a mix of everything happening at the same time, which is crazy. It's like visual stimulus, like watching something, watch the treats, how they act with the wine and things like that, or go to walk and feel the wine in my face. I guess I love to write music because that makes me feel alive. That is something that is really true. It's like when I sad or something like that, when I write something, it's like, oh my God, that makes me feel that I want to be here more time in the earth, making this. So it's a crazy process because it depends of my vibes too. I need to connect with that. When I write solos, when I'm writing like a melodic kind of things, depend of the context. Like, dude, this can be a sad thing or am I feeling, out of the world right now and I don't know how to come back. So all those emotions is important to put in your instrument. So for me, it's like be an actor or something like that. When you play, it's like you need to be in a certain mood to match that same energy that the song requires. Because that is the point. It's like the song requires something. So right now I'm writing music just thinking about making everything for the song. That is the most important thing. And I say to my bandmates the same, dude, the most important is the song. It's not your playing. You can make something incredible, but it's the song don't need that. Don't put that. So it's like,
Mm,
just if we need to keep something simple, just do that, but need to sound massive when we do that. So again, it's about moods, it's about a story, it's about something that I need to express. I love to, right now I've been writing my album, and it has been a different process, so different. And I love that because it's more about a story, about something bigger than just one song. It's more about something to find yourself. And it's something interesting because the process has been that. It's like just go to walk, listening, and try to find melodies and connect with that, be in that certain mood to feel that, to match that energy that you need. And I guess for me, it has been really special. But that is right now because I guess when I end that, because now the only thing that I want to do is end that because after a lot of time working on that, it's like, I guess it's done. So I would like to just release that and continue other things. Because again,
mm,
I don't like to be stuck in the same place with the same emotions. Like, okay, so that was, you know, when I had 25 years old and 26 years old, that's great. Now jump into other things. So for me, it's like every album needs to be like story, like a book, it's like a book of
mm.
something. Because I love the art in all his ways, when you write something, when you draw something, when you create music and everything. So for me, that is something beautiful. I love to take in that way. I just love the art, like something made with love, homemade things, not something just made to people like that, It's like, oh no, use this chord progression because people will dance with that. No, it's more about everything needs to be building for yourself, So I guess that is one of the most things that I love to make when I'm writing to. So yeah,
I
that's
love
my
that.
process. It's just
It sounds like it's a couple things. Like, well, one of the things that you're kind of expressing to your bandmates, I love that you're kind of coaching them towards like, no, we have to be listening to what is needed in the moment. And so you have to like read the room, right? Like what's going on here? It's like it's the listening part that is maybe more important than the fantastical playing part, right? Because the fantastical playing will show up at the right time if we serve the song correctly, right? And then
yeah,
everybody will get their time. Essentially, there'll be room for that. But
yeah,
focus here, and I love that feeling, and I love that you said that it's more important, like to kind of be, interested in handmade, homemade kind of feelings versus like going, well, I'm going to get more likes. I'm going to get the dance people. I'm going to do
mhm,
this. So not worrying about genre, not worrying about the audience really at all. Like it's us. This
yeah,
is our story, and we have to
yeah,
do a good job of telling it. you know. And
yeah.
so I love that you kind of relate it in that way. That's cool.
Thank you so much. It's like a learning process, and it's all every day you learn something new. So it's like it's part of that. So it's truly amazing.
Well, you have also mentioned earlier that you kind of in passing there that sometimes bad people show up, in your
Yeah,
journey. And I'm wondering, without having to be very specific or anything of this, I'm just curious, like what have been some of the biggest challenges or obstacles in your journey as a musician here? And have there been some nefarious characters that have come through your realm at this point that kind of like almost try to take you off the course?
yeah. Of course, it's like all the people is trying to get something always, and it's like, dude, this is a relation. So if you want to get something back, just please ask one day in the fucking month, how do you been, or something like that. It's communication. So I hate when people just jump and then say, hey, I need this, or things like that. And I don't like that kind of energy. And of course, people all the time will be saying what you need to do randomly. Like, oh no, you should do this. You should do this other thing. It's like, dude, look your life. What are you talking to me? I'm going in my direction. But dude, spend time in your life. If you want to change this, change in your own things, Like
Mm.
I'm I'm relaxed following my path. I'm, working on that. But I don't need, so sometimes people with that bad energy is like coming into saying like, no, in this solo you should do that. Because one day when I did a solo for Jordan Rudess, a guy, random guy, sent me a message, and I know that guy, and he said, no, you should use a triad here and things like that. And I say, you know what? When you had the chance, you can do that, but don't say to me what the fuck I need to do in my stuff, okay?
Right.
For the same, because I was mad, it's like, dude, why are you saying that? Go out, you are not in position to be saying this. That is the
Well,
point. And it's really
it
important again.
the audacity of somebody and people, well, this is the thing too, because social media makes us so available to other people, right? And so they can comment.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine Picasso or Van Gogh or what some amazing artist that people look up to, if they were living now and they put out a new piece and the whole world was, oh,
Yeah.
that's great, but it should have been green. I can't believe this isn't even very good. All the commentary without like
Yeah.
deep reflection. And that's the problem, that a lot of the quick-witted, quick, attention span theater thing that we're living through right now, kind of can't comprehend fully, is that, especially when somebody like yourself wants to tell a story, and you can't just listen to a thing one time and be like, oh, I get it. I understand. You should have done a triad
Of
there.
course.
You can't do that. You
Yeah.
can't do that. Like, this needs to
Yeah.
be ingested. You need to imbibe it. You need to digest it and then reflect on it. And then maybe by that time you shouldn't have much to say, if anything at all. You know what I mean? Other than like, wow, like great effort. You know, like even if I would have done a triad or a certain type of lick there, you know,
Yeah.
good job for putting out the story that you wanted to tell. You know, that's way more important than like, I don't know, just weird. People get off in a weird place. You know?
Yeah, it's like that, and it's all the time like that, and of course, it's part of this. But this time, I guess you need to have a really nice mind too, because of course, it's really easy to be people, bother you, and they just make that for fun. It's like, yeah, just things and just bother your playing and things like that. But it's like, dude, it's okay. It's part of the deal of this. I can connect with a lot of people, and this is, this is small people. Of course, it's not something of all the guys are saying that, but that small
Right.
people is like all the time there. But it's part of that. I say to my student the same: be ready, dude. Be ready, because they will send you to take a shower too. Because it's like that. Because one day, I post a video and a guy said me take a shower before to shoot a video, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck, like that, So like, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, should I take a shower after before that?
Like,
I guess, yeah.
should I check
like,
in with
it's
you
weird,
about my outfit too? Like, do you want to smell
Yeah,
my breath?
like,
Did I send you a
yeah, dude, it's like, you wanted a smile, that's, I will put the stories and you will say me what I need to do, because probably
Yeah,
people want
yeah.
that right now, just have access to everything in your life. But yeah, that kind of things happens, the yellows guys too, and it's part of this. But it's really important to understand that it's part of that. It's not a problem too. So and neither,
Ah,
sorry, it's not a problem. It's like, it's part of that. We need to live with that. It's like the same of everything, So you can
uh-huh.
get sick when you're, in cold days if you are not taking care of you. It's the same, bad people will be there, but you need to be ready for that.
That's right.
That is the most important thing. Be ready for that, because it's part of that. We never will change that, because it's part of some humans are like that, and it's okay. It's totally okay.
Brother,
So it's
that's a high
important for me,
wisdom.
just put that. Yeah, for me, it's really important to put that in the desk and be clear with that. They are things that happens, and you won't be able to change them. Just be ready. Just be ready, because it's like that. You need to be ready to these kind of circumstances, because it's like that.
The
So
inevitable
yeah,
interruption. The inevitable interruption. That's the way I think about it is in physical training too. So like there's this
yeah,
teacher, Ido Portal. Are you familiar with Ido Portal? He's from Israel, and a movement teacher, and he teaches about the interruption in life. Like when you physically train, that you train for the interruption. Like you can't, if you just train in straight lines and in very safe quarters, you'll never be
yeah,
interrupted, and then you'll never be ready for interruption, right?
yeah.
So this is
That
kind
is
of
really
what you're speaking
important.
to in a way, right? You're like, the
Yeah,
interruption's coming, like that's for sure. So be ready for it. Yeah,
yeah.
I like that.
Totally ready. Doesn't matter. They never need to change your focus of that. It's part of the
Mm,
deal. Again, it's part of the game. That is the point. It's like, dude, of course. I all the time I love to say that to myself. Like, dude, you are relaxed in your house playing guitar, which is amazing. Other people is like, building things and having like having bad days working because they, don't have a life that they want, and you are lucky because you are doing that, So have that in your head. You are living that. Just be grateful of that things. Those things of bad people, of things like that, are this. So, dude,
mm.
don't cry for that. Just keep playing, keep enjoying, keep motivating people, because I guess that is one of the most amazing things. Like, show to the people, like, dude, if I can, you can too. It's
Yeah.
here. It's here. It's not in your hands. It's like, it's here. Start here, everything. So if you can change that and trust in yourself, trust me, you will make everything that you want. It's something for me. I love that process, be motivating people to make that, to trust in his abilities.
And that's amazing. I love that you said that you enjoy to keep, like to keep inspiring people and keep, motivating people. And because I'm very inspired, and I know a lot of the other players that are following you that are in my circle are all like, wow, like we're all enamored, and I can see that, people are probably signing up to take lessons quite often with you. I'm
Yeah.
interested in that part too, like because you seem like a natural teacher. Do you feel like that is a part of your role here as well, is the teaching part, or is that just kind of like a financial thing? Because you do it well and you have a knack for it. Is that something you kind of see yourself doing
Yeah.
ongoing too?
To be honest, I guess one of the most it's amazing teach guitars. I love that teach about different kind of things. It's amazing that circumstances. It's not something that I would like to be doing my whole life because, of course, uh, requires a lot of different things. And sometimes it's hard to make music when you have a lot of students and things like that. It's not easy to be in the mood to be writing the stuff. So I would like to, of course, have more time to write more things because trust me, that requires a lot of brain in my case. I need to be in a different kind of mood when I write music. Trust me. My sister lives with me and sometimes I'm writing music and she comes to my bedroom and she say, "Hey, you want something?" I'm out, my head is out. It's like, yeah, it's like I'm in other kind of place. And my brother say me the same, like, dude, when you write music, like you are in other plane, I guess. So then when you jump to lessons, it's like, come back and be ready to connect with the student and have good communication. Because when I write the music, dude, I have the worst communication ever. The worst. I never text back, nothing. It's like just here playing like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And then grab the phone, my headphones, go to walk, listen. Yeah, that 2 minutes of demo, and then I guess I can change this. Yeah, I should add a melody here because I guess that section feels empty. That drum feel is really bad to that. And then thinking about everything and then come back, adjust those sections and think about the next one. Like, oh my God, yes, in the next section, I should add this kind of vibes things. And that requires a lot of energy because it's a lot of time. It's like walking out and finding a good time to go out to walk and feel the day too. It's like mix everything. But yeah, teaching is something that I guess I can do in the right way because I can motivate my students. I trust in the process, but sometimes I'm really free in my way to play. I'm not a guy who really know everything who's doing. It's like, dude, that sounds good. I follow my intuition. How you teach that is hard because it's like how you teach something like that to people who need that kind of, because sometimes look how you write music. You use the harmony first. That, dude, for me, music comes first. Then you can understand what the fuck you did. For me, music is like that. Just happens and write that and ready. Then understand if you want. In my case, like, dude, sounds good. I'm okay with that. So it's hard sometimes, of course. I can, if, I love to do this with students that can connect with me, with my way to see this. Because some people can really understand me and then they got the harmony side faster, than other people who is more in the box, like, yeah, I need a book to learn and things like that. I'm more free in that way. Like, dude, I don't want to be bothering you. If you want to learn, of course, we will be learning. If you say to me, push me more, I will do that. But my process is like that. It's just mistakes, fix the mistakes, and again. That is how I learn. It's the only way.
I love that you see the teaching as kind of a necessary, component here. And obviously, and it's not uncommon. A lot of players that teach early on, it's like it's maybe kind of a necessary tension for you. Like it's great that it pays you financially, and it's great that you kind of have to navigate the challenging questions or the ways that people are able to learn. And then when you're like after the third time, you're like, okay, think about it like this, and you do a fourth way, from over here and over here. I assume that probably builds your resilience despite it kind of taking up some of your time where you would prefer to be out playing and writing the music. But would you kind of agree with that it's kind of an interesting thing that you probably are learning from along the way as well?
Yeah, you learn a lot. You learn a lot of things teaching. It's something amazing because sometimes some students, they think they have bad questions, but trust me, they doesn't exceed the bad questions. Like, dude, it's your curiosity. So it's like, just ask, we will fix that, of course. So sometimes they ask some things that I never asked myself, because I just played. And then I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, you should, I'm doing that, and you should try that, because it works. I'm doing that. Dude, I've been learning more about my technique teaching than ever, just teaching, because my students, of course, they are aware of everything. So they said me that you are using outside motion and things like that? Dude, let's find out. I never asked you myself. Let's check. And then and they, oh yeah, you're doing that. Great, so that works. So, and then I explain my feeling, because that is something I guess is key when I'm teaching. It's like, forget about the people comments about your playing. It's the most important is how you are feeling playing. Because again, it's a really important thing, because if I play something to you, you will say, that sounds clean. Of course, because I've been practicing and you have a amount of technique that you can do that without problems. But the important question is how I felt playing that. And it's like, I felt really uncomfortable. I guess I'm feeling rusty. You should practice more. And I use that kind of feelings, like I feel something in my shoulder when I do an alternate. I feeling something weird happening and things like that. Just follow my body things, because that is when I really can feel comfortable playing and free, because that is the point. I need to be free to play guitar, not to be thinking about my technique. Just play. Just that is when I really can feel comfortable with my instrument. Yes, I can express whatever that I want in the technical side. You know, if I have something in my head, I can play that without problems because I don't have technical issues. Because it's all about that. And again, the other thing that I teach to my students is like, guys, guitar is not a human thing, and the technique neither. So it's like you don't have human responsibilities. You don't need to get married with a certain technique or way to move your pick. You can be modified in that while playing. It's part of the humans. That is why we are really amazing, because we can be changing things and having adaptations like this all the time happening at the same moment that we play. That is one of the amazing things, because we are not robots. We are humans, so we can be modification or playing or some things like that. It's really amazing for me that, and I use that in my side. It's like, yeah, my body is smart. He's saying me this.
I love that that in some ways, whether it's fully conscious or not, that you the path of your guitar playing and journey is just, it seems to be like a constant state of self-expression, but self-awareness. Like it's bringing, you have a natural tendency towards the existential, like, oh, what is happening right now? And then you assess it in pretty real time, it feels like, and then you make corrections, and that breeds this certain self-awareness, and like, that classic statement of know thyself, and if you know your tendencies, you know your proclivities, then you can work around them to alter them a little bit, or to magnify the things that are your specialties, so to speak. And
Yeah.
that is wonderful, man. Wow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's like my process has been, trust me, my poor technique was alternate picking. My poor technique, dude, it was my worst technique, dude, ever. I remember to say to myself, I guess I have, natural problem with that. My dad never played alternate neither, so I guess it's a physiology thing, a family problem. So I guess it's in my blood. I never will be able to play alternate. And I trust in that kind. I thought about that a lot of years, and then I say, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Just practice is the only thing. If you want to play better, practice is the only thing. And don't think about hours and things like that. Just play. It's play guitar. That's the point. It's like, I'm playing guitar. I remember my first show. It was a Dream Theater show in my country. And guys were talking about, some players were talking about, I'm studying John Petrucci. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I asked you, my brother, what the fuck they are talking about? He said, I don't know neither. And then we come into the conversation. No, I'm learning John Petrucci stuff. I'm studying him. So you are learning a song, right? Yeah. So you're playing guitar. Yeah. Oh, okay. So for me, always everything, study, nothing like what's play guitar. For me, the only name of that was play guitar. I'm learning a song. I'm playing guitar. I'm practicing. I'm playing guitar again. So I never liked that word of practice or something like that, because, it was something more for me. So it's like, play guitar. I'm just playing guitar because I want to play better tomorrow. I need to spend time today practicing to feel better tomorrow. It's the only way. If I want to becoming a better player, I need to spend time with that, of course. It's the only way. I need to have patience, but doing my job, because this is important. That there is when the patience is important, when you are doing that and you wait for the result, but not doing nothing and then I have patience. And what you are doing to get that? I don't know. I'm just chilling. It's impossible, dude. Never.
Yeah.
It's impossible. And that is something that people have in his head. No, I have patience. Yeah, but what are you doing to get the things that you want? I don't know, nothing. So how
Yeah.
you will get
With
that?
no
With
action,
patience.
what are you gonna get?
Yeah, this is
You
the
have
point.
to
Is like
have.
without, yeah, the patience is with the action, because you are
Yeah.
doing that every day and you never get something and you are with frustration. There is when the patience is important, because you keep, pushing yourself into something, and then one day you get that.
Mm.
But if you never are acting to get that, it's impossible. It's, dude, I don't know. It's weird.
Let's go back. So you were talking about how you felt like you were never going to be a good alternate picking, but you've surpassed most of us. And you got to the point where John Petrucci's like, "Hey, bud, you need to come to my camp and show us how you do it." So obviously you figured it out, and we're all thankful for it because we get to watch you play, and that's like one of the I'll just side note is one of the beautiful things about finding a player like yourself or anybody that you love that you enjoy seeing them do what they do is that it's this kind of reciprocal thing, right? Like, yeah, you get into your emotions and your feelings and you play the thing that is your story, like nonverbal, and you express yourself, and then we get to get sucked into it, and as an observer, as a listener, and what a wonderful thing, because it opens us up to the new patterns that you found within yourself, right? And then you go,
Yeah.
oh, and it's not, obviously it's not about any one little thing. It is the larger thing, but embedded in that, there's so many different patterns and circles and cycles. I'm curious ultimately here on this podcast about guitar picks and guitar picking. And so I'm actually interested in knowing a little bit, okay, about your history. Like when you first started out, when your dad was like, "Here, okay, I'm going to teach you." Kind of, do you remember anything about guitar picks and the kind of guitar picks that you played with back then? And how did you get to play whatever you are playing now? And could you tell us a little story about that?
Yeah. So, um, so I have some picks. They are called Alice picks. So it's like, let me show you. I don't know if you can
Alice?
see. Yeah, but yeah, this is the Alice picks. It's like really cheap picks. My dad used to use them, and
Oh,
of
okay.
course he used this kind of Trinity, like really big picks, and I spent time playing with them too. Not these ones like just three, nothing. I discovered that when I was like 17 years old, I guess. Yeah, 17 years
Mm.
old. I discovered, Jim Dunlap and things like that. I never thought
Mm-hmm.
about picks. I remember in random stores of music, just grab the cheapest one because it wasn't expensive. And then because I had the problem, because every time I lose picks, it's really easy to lose them, and I had all the time problems with them. And one day my brother said to me, "Dude, I bought in AliExpress a lot of picks, so you will have your whole fucking life because you never have." And then I got this Alice picks, and like I don't know, 200. It was a lot, and I still have
Mm.
of them. So I spent time playing with that when I was younger, and the things that I play when I was younger, my dad, of course, said me the really basic things like play four, like can you hear the guitar? Let me check this. I guess right now, no.
Yes.
That kind of things. He said me, yeah, yeah, play that. And I spent with acoustic guitar like every day, the whole summer. The whole summer. Then I started learning songs, and that's first year I spent my winter vacations learning the walk solo from Pantera. So I spent my whole 2 weeks learning that, and every day practicing that until I was able to play that. And I remember spent a lot of time because of course my perception was out. Like, dude, what are you
Mm.
doing? You have been playing guitar 6 months. It's a tough solo. So I still try to play that. And of course I was able to play that, but of course it wasn't perfect or nothing, but I was playing something with sense. That was something really
Mm.
important because I remember the same. I tried to play something with sense, and I did this nothing. And I all the time I remember in those times I hate a little bit to my dad because I say, "Dude, you have the technique to make music. Why you don't make music?"
Mm.
And he said me, "No, because I don't have time." And I was like, with your technique, I should be making music. I would like to be making music. So the only thing that I was trying to get was technique, just to make my stuff to be, creating something. And then, of course, spending more time practicing. But it was the only thing that I play. For that reason, I got a problem with my 3 note per string pattern. I was learning
Because it
Fatal
was all
Tragedy solo.
fours?
Yeah, because our fourths, and every time, the fourth, you start every next string with downstroke because it's down, up, down again,
Mhm.
So I was playing 3 notes per string as economy picking, and I thought that was a wrong way to play. So I was playing down, up, down,
Oh.
down with economy. So one day I was learning the Fatal Tragedy solo, and that section have a alternate run, 3 note per string. And I was playing that, and I was like, I can't play that. And it doesn't sound like the song. What the fuck is going on? And then I looked my playing, and I understood, oh my God. And I say that day, I remember I felt like an stupid. Like, I've been learning 2 years in the wrong way. Oh, dude, I'm an idiot. So I remember put down the pick and the guitar, and then 2 hours later practicing. And I found a Jason Becker exercise that changed my life in that way. It was really simple because it doesn't require
Mm.
memorizing nothing. It's like, yeah, play 3, not 4. So I spent time playing 3, not 4. And it was like, yeah, great. And I started spending time. And then, of course, adding scales, the same, like, okay, 3 note per strings for the same, because I wanted to play my favorite solos, and that requires that. And then one day, everything starts to make sense and sounds better. And then I spend time with that, like playing more and more.
Yeah, that fluidity of the threes and starting the next string with the same up, down, you end up in a
Yeah.
up and with the that's like I still, I mean, I'm nobody, but I still struggle with making that super fluid, but I really
Yeah.
appreciate that story because I bet there's a lot of people, young people out there that might be watching this and they're like, actually, I'm doing the same thing. I need to switch,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
is the
cool.
point, So I was really mad with myself with that, because I was like, dude, I've been practicing in the wrong way. Because again, when I learned guitar, I just had Guitar Pro, the songs, and my dad comments, nothing more. I didn't watch YouTube videos because, you know, in one point I was a little bit exhausted about watch the guys playing the same, and of course I didn't have Instagram and nothing about that. So I used to watch some videos. And then when I created my Instagram, all the guys were playing the Guthrie Govan tapping lick. And I was like, or the Tom Quayle licks too. And I was like, or
Mm.
Rick Graham too. And I was like, that is amazing, but I would like to find my own way to create my own exercises because I need other things. And that was my way, just rubbing the guitar one day. Like, what happens if I practice different things? And I spent time with that, just discovering the instrument, because I say to myself, I guess that is why the players, like the 90% of them, sounds like the same licks guys all the
Mm.
time, because they are just watching videos on YouTube. And that is why in the old times we have people like Jason Becker, Marty Friedman, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, people who you can listen them and they have his own leaks and stuff like that. And that was amazing. And I say that I guess that happened because they never had YouTube and things like that, of course. So they were discovering the instrument, using the time to that tune, not just practicing exercise that they found on books and things like that. They're just like, oh my God, what happens if I do this? And then asking things like that and then discover that. Because
Mm.
for me, the fretboard is like the world. We have 12 notes, and with 12 notes, we have a lot of different combinations. So it's like, it's amazing to spend time with that and then finding interesting sounds with those things. Of course, we have some default licks and things like that, but it's part of the process too, because I love to respect the story of the instrument too. It's like with the same, like blues kind of things and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's like common things, and I guess they are part of the story. And see, I love to keep them because it's part of that. It's part of the instrument. I love when I write solos to take some, licks from my favorite players and put them in the solo. Dude, I
Mm.
respect you. I'm not saying
Right.
that I'm creating that. Dude, I really respect your work. So, dude, this is my way to say thank you so much. That is the only thing. It's like, dude,
Right.
this is my way to say thank you so much for your inspiration.
But
And
you
I
point
love
out,
that
you
because again, it's part of that.
make a good point about kind of like a good point for or a good argument for isolation to some degree with your practice time, because if you are constantly watching Instagram and learning the licks of the day, so to speak, then you're
Yeah.
gonna, you're never gonna sound exactly like somebody else. But some people can take it to that point where they kind of almost don't know how to not sound like their favorite player, and when you think about the era of like Steve Vai and Eddie Van Halen and Dimebag, Instagram, what? Like, there's no, Zach Wilde was not
No.
looking at reels, bro. He was coming up with it on
Yeah.
his own. Like, he did
And
listen to
playing.
Randy Rhoads, he did listen to Eddie Van Halen, but
That is,
it was in a way that was like you had to listen to it because there wasn't a lot of tabs, there wasn't a lot of things. You had to kind of feel your way into those places through the emotional content of it versus like getting the exact tabs and getting the exact lick and without, and maybe you might even learn the lick, but you might learn it kind of in the wrong way or in a different position because same
yeah.
notes but different avenue, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of an argument in a way to like, don't imbibe the thing that you're looking to do too much. You should spend your time exploring, finding
Yeah.
out for yourself.
That's the point. It's like explore. Explore. It's just that. It's like again, for me, this is the world. So I love to be exploring, taking, of course, inspirations for favorite guys, and then try to do your own work. I talk, like John Petrucci. He used a lot of this 4-2 pattern, and I can go and play in different ways. And then create something new with that because you have a string skipping and things like that. You are using a more, a stretch position in that. You are playing different kind of progressions. That is why it's interesting because you will have the same with the Eric Johnson thing. Yeah, with the same with the
when
Eric
you get
Johnson
that
thing,
when you get things sped up like the Petrucci thing though, like it's hard for that to not sound cool. So like you can kind of use it in all these different ways, right?
Dude, it's crazy because again you can do that whatever you want. It's like it's just insane. Like then go crazy with that.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing pattern, and it's fantastic. That it's the same when I talk inspiration from Eric Johnson. I was, just listening to him, and of course he have this really famous. And I said, yeah, he's playing a chord with that. So if I just play the normal arpeggios, I say it's the same idea of that.
Yeah.
But I'm changing the chord progression. But this, of course, is his pattern. But I'm using it in a different way. And that is why I guess I love to be doing this because, you can play the scales, and then use that pedal note with the hybrid picking thing. It is just fantastic. It's just fantastic because, of course, you will have a lot of different things to get. Again, when I start playing guitar, I never and this is not in my head, be different or something like that. It's like just be myself, but not with this idea I'm creating something new. Because again, it's like it doesn't matter for me that shit. It's like the only thing that matters for me sounds good. Nothing more. Not create something new and be following that. Like, dude, I want you make good music.
Yeah.
And play good guitar.
And anybody that is taking it to the level, especially that you are, you're gonna bring in so many different influences from all the things that you love and you've been listening to, and there's gonna be references to outside things, and we're all using the same notes. We're using basically the same instrument. We're basically doing all this thing. It's really difficult for people to come up with anything new, and usually the people that come up with something that we feel is new, they didn't think they were coming up with something new. They just were following their heart. They're like, I wonder if I did it like this. I mean, I think about it like with Tosin and Animals as Leaders is a pretty good example because he's one of that group and that kind of music is one of the first times that we'd heard some of those patterns and heard some of the the thumping and the different things, right? But it was based in a realm that we were already familiar with. We're already familiar with prog music. We're already familiar with Meshuggah. We're already familiar with Dream Theater and the kind of different things. But the way that congealed into what is Animals as Leaders and what we now know as kind of its own thing, is very special. And you were like, wow, like, and that didn't happen by him going, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to play I'm going to learn all the Meshuggah stuff. I'm going to learn all the John Petrucci stuff. And then he did he didn't, Tosin and Javier did not
Yeah,
come from
he
that
just learned.
angle,
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm just learning the things that I want, and then I'm adding everything. It's like I'm cooking something. I'm adding salt, and I like the pepper.
Yes.
And my key is like, I don't know, I'm using tomatoes right now, and that is different. It's like that. It's like cook something, but just to eat something that you want. That is the point. That is where
Yes.
like, yeah, I really love Dream Theater, but I would like, I don't know, I love this Pink Floyd ambient things more in the song. I can explore more with that. And then you have something totally different. Like, dude, that sounds like your music because you are adding these space things and that is interesting. More chorus pads and things like that. But
Yes.
again, it's a process. And again, I love to just be playing and nothing about that. Like, nothing about, "Oh, I'm doing something new." Nothing. It's like, dude, just play guitar, just enjoy. If you like your sound, keep playing. Like, it's part of that. Create music and yes, just leave.
I love
So
that.
yeah, I love that.
So, Baxty, if you could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, future, past, is there anybody that you would love to trade solos with in a song that would just like light you up?
To be honest, right now, no, because again, it's something that is not in my head. Like,
That's fair.
Jeff asked me the same thing. Jeff asked me the same thing. If a band, and I say, to be honest, the only thing that I want is make good music, nothing more. Nothing more is, of course, if I had the chance to trade some licks with Jeff Loomis, it would be insane.
Yeah.
But again, I never thought nothing about that. For me, it's impossible. For me, impossible thing, I don't think about that. I don't know, but again, I don't have that thing in my head, like play with bands or a dream in that way, because some people ask me sometimes, you would like to be in Dream Theater? No, dude. To be honest, never. Because, dude, I respect too much John, and that is his band. And I, don't do that, Like, I don't like to go into that. I would like to find my own voice with that, not be playing that kind of music or be touring with Megadeth the same. It's like I should take, to be honest, I should take that just to live as a musician. But I guess it's more interesting be finding your own voice with this. Of course, it's like it's part of the process. I don't know, the life is so weird. If I had the chance, of course I will take that, but it's not something that I'm thinking about. It's not a dream in my head. It's like with I just love to be creating things, and I don't have a space to that. Of course, in the next album, I will have amazing collaborations. And I never thought about them. And again, it's something amazing, but it's the same. It's like, I don't want to be a fake guy with you. Like, no, I would like to this. I love to be honest. Like, dude, it's not something right now in my head. It's like,
That's fair.
I don't know. Of course, the only thing I guess is true. I guess when I was younger, I was really sad about Dimebag. And all the time I dreamed to, play with him just face to face. It was something that I guess until now is so sad for me because my dad watched a Pantera show, and he talked me about that. Like, I went to a Pantera show in Chile, and that was insane. I saw Dimebag playing live, and I was like, oh my god, I never will have the chance to do something like that. So yeah, I really admired that guy when I was younger. Still now, he was insane. But yeah,
One
I
of my
guess
favorites
when
as
I was
well.
younger, I really dreamed to be playing something, a league with him. But again, it's not something that is in my head right now
Right.
or
Right.
normally.
Well, that's I'm glad that you landed on that and that you brought that up because for me, I mean, I had a lot of great, favorites. I have a lot of favorites like you. We all do. Like, oh, I love him for this reason. I
Yeah.
love him for this reason. But Dimebag did something for me, like as a player, because he was technical, but he was more feel and more sass than he was like
Yeah.
virtuoso, right? And he
Yeah.
could keep up with the best of anybody. He could like listen and probably jam with Steve Vai and a lot of these people and like hold his own, no problem. But
Mhm.
like the thing that he did was, way more attitude, and he was obviously way into the song itself as well. Like he was very into that, and you know, he had his brother and his dad like influencing him from a young age, and
Yeah.
I'm an older guy now, man. Like that, I feel very fortunate hearing you say that, because I mean I saw Pantera 6 times
Yeah.
and got to hang out with them a couple of times. Got the, you know, I got stories, you know, and they and the way that those guys, you know, despite them being very human, and you know, nobody is perfect, but
Yeah.
the way they
Of
treated the
course.
fans, the way that they were in conversation and relationship to us, changed our lives as young people when we met them. You know, we were 16, 17 like the first time, and
Yeah.
to have a hero go, man, just do it. Get at it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. Like, go play
Yeah.
guitar. And I was like, me? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know, and it like,
Yeah.
he kind of in a similar way to the attitude that you have, that you're like, man, you just need to play. Keep playing. Play more. Do
Yeah.
it some more. You know, like Dime was kind of like that. He's like, oh, you don't have to worry about the details too much. That'll come.
Yeah.
Just get playing, you know? And
Yeah.
I
So
always kind of remember that energy.
to to be honest, when I was younger, I really loved that energy. Like, dude, just play. Because for me, that is the attitude of a musician.
Mm.
It's like fuck off everything. Do whatever you want, dude. That is the point. Do whatever you want. Just follow yourself. Yes, make whatever you
Mm.
want with the instrument, or you know. And with John Petrucci, you had this other way. She's a positive
Mhm.
like personality, which is like really close to that. Just play, study everything. So I did a mix between two guys, like this attitude. Because when I play live, dude, I remember in the Guitar Universe, I opened I play in the first night. John said me, yeah, you play first, you know? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. But I never had a pressure or something like that. I was like enjoying that. And I remember that because they were the other players. And then all of us, we were doing the warm up, and they asked me, like, are you nervous? And I was like, to be honest, I'm excited to play, you know, like I'm excited to play. And then I played the first night, you know, and I felt really comfortable for the same because I said, dude,
Mm.
I'm enjoying my music louder. It's the only thing that I want to do is like enjoy my music loud, nothing more. You know, I don't want to impress anybody.
Mm.
I'm impressed myself to be in this fucking place, and it's the most important thing. You
Right?
know, it's like,
Right?
yeah, that's
Dude,
great.
you see where I'm at,
Then
bro? Like, I'm happy. I'm
yeah,
stoked.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, dude, what the fuck? It's just imagine to be losing, you know, and be nervous for that. Like, oh, I need to impress John and the other player. Doesn't for me that it's like, dude, I don't need to impress nothing and to anybody. It's like just enjoy your music. And I remember, you know, I started playing, and I really have a blast in the show. I really enjoyed that. I was like, after that, I was like, dude, I guess I felt extremely comfortable. Something weird happened there because have John there, like watching the show, I felt like even more comfortable. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It was have
Interesting.
his hand here, like, dude, I support you. Yes, play. And it was something amazing for me because it like, dude, I don't need to impress anybody again. It was like just play, just enjoy, and that was insane for me. Like,
John has that kind of that warm energy though too. He's like that. It's almost like he's like an uncle or a stepdad that with that big beard, you know, like all
yeah,
comfy,
dude,
very nice, very kind and considerate in the way that he approaches
yeah,
everybody and the way he talks, and he's just like, yeah,
yeah,
oh, okay, yeah, sure, let me show you that. Oh, okay, yeah, okay,
yeah,
cool. You know, you're like, wait, you're like the greatest on the planet. Like this is crazy. How you
dude.
know,
To
good
be
sense of
honest,
humor too,
yes,
you know? I love
yeah.
that guy.
And the point of that, it's like it's his face. He's have similar things with my dad in the body things, you know, because my
Really?
dad go to the gym too and have. And when I was talking with him, in one moment I was like, "This is so fucking weird. This is so fucking weird because I can't have that same energy when I talk with my dad." And I felt really weird in that way, like the same hands and the same like body, the forearm, this like the body, like the muscle, things like that.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know what is going on, but yeah, it's true. You look, of course, they are different, but they have some close things. And I was like, the beard and all those things. Yeah, and I guess for that reason, I felt even comfortable too, for the same, because it reminds me to my father. It's like, I have my father here, yes, pushing myself to play. So it was crazy, a crazy energy. I
That's
really,
an interesting little
again,
paradox that you're describing, that it's like, wait, is
dude,
Petrucci my other dad? Are you my spiritual
yeah,
dad? Are you?
yeah, it was weird, because his friends used to say John Petrucci to my dad, because the same,
Oh, really?
he used to use the hair to that way, the beard and the muscles. Um, and then of course you grow up with that, and it's like, oh my god, my dad is like is close to John, it's like, what the fuck is this? And of course then you see him in person, it's like, this is weird, the same eyes and things like that. And I was like, what the fuck is going on right now, dude? It's like, and I
Wow.
and after that I remember to say to my brother, like, dude, it's true. He said me, what the fuck is true, dude? Reminds me, sure, that man. So it's like, I don't know, but it's like the same energy when I talk with him. The same. It's like relax,
Mm,
but at the same time with this kind of, really kind in that way, really, the sense of the humor sense, and, like chill guy. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah,
mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
here, I was like, that was weird, to
And
be honest. Until now, I can't, it's, it's really weird.
that's really cool, man. Did your dad inspire you? Do you spend time at the gym? Do you go work out often as well? You look like
Yeah.
you take care of yourself.
Yeah, I love that because it's really important. It's like, I would like to live more time, I guess. So I need to
Mm-hmm.
be careful with my body, and of course, play live. To have the guitar here, you need to work on your back and your muscles. So right now, I'm training more. I use it all the mornings to train because it's my personal moment. And to be honest, I train just for my noises, because all the time I can have a lot of noise in my head, and that moment just to listening to music and get tired is like insane. It's like, I'm feeling
Mm.
tired right now, which is amazing. But again, I love to train just to feel relaxed, and with my mind, I guess that really helped me to that. That's train, and then you are tired of that, and it's like, great, I did that today. I need to do that tomorrow. It's like part of my routine, and I love that. So when I went to USA in that month and half, I really missed the gym, to be honest. When I come back,
Yeah.
I was crazy. Like, dude, oh my God, I need to come back. Not for the body
Especially when you get
things, more
going.
about for your head. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's more about,
When it's something that's regular, man,
yeah.
you missed it.
And I'm a routine guy, dude. I love the routine. I love to do the same things every day. So that destroyed me everything. And I understood that, like, oh my God, that's crazy. So I remember because I asked to Chris Broderick about that. And, Chris
Um,
Broderick, dude, he was one of, the most amazing guys in the guitar universe, to be honest. He's so kind. He's so,
mm,
amazing, like a good guy, chill there, like we talk a lot, and he motivates me too much to. And I was like, I'm talking with fucking Chris Broderick right now. Guitar Universe was like that all the time. I was tuning my guitar, changing the strings, and I had Martin Miller playing guitar there. I said,
mhm.
oh shit, Martin Miller is playing guitar for me while I'm changing the strings. So it was like a really crazy circumstance.
I can only imagine the Chris Broderick thing. I know he is notoriously a great dude, and he's into fitness as well, I believe. And so it's cool. I can imagine the feeling of like just kind of being well received at the Guitar Universe amongst these players that you've looked up to and kind of taken inspiration from.
Yeah.
Now it's cool, man, because you're in the group, you know. And so you're going to be invited to the party a lot more often. So I'm looking forward to seeing, especially as the next album, this album that you're working on, as that lands, that's going to be exciting to see you out with a full band. Hopefully it sounds like that you're going to be able to do that at some point and, show us what you got cooking.
Yeah, yeah. So of course, I'm working on that, like the full band concept, because I guess it's part of that. And we did a studio performance. We played the whole EP,
Mm-hmm.
So we're editing everything right now. So we are waiting to the mix session too. But everything is there. We did 4 takes, and then we have the four songs ready. So I guess we hang out a lot playing live in that specific time because it was like I remember because I was in USA and I called my friends like, "Hey, I was thinking about what do you think if we play a live studio performance, the whole EP? I guess it would be amazing to show the full band concept." And they were
Mm.
like, "Oh my god, yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Let's do
Uh-huh.
that." So we had like they had like 1 month to practice the stuff. And I come back like I arrived to my country like in September 3rd, and that 20 September 26th, I had the first rehearsal, and then we had we had a rehearsal Wednesday 24, and then we had other rehearsal Friday 26, and we did the studio performance Monday 29. So we did two rehearsals together of the songs, and we stopped to play that like 2 years. So it was amazing to have that chemistry each other's, like
Mhm.
connect again and be playing that. And again, it was amazing. I felt really comfortable with that. And of course, now practicing the songs of the new album, writing them, taking care of the songs, and of course, like trying to make that in the best way as we can. And yeah, the idea is play in the full band concept because I guess it's part of that. I really love to. I prefer to play in that way than just play with backing tracks because it's like it's a
Sure.
different vibe, it's a different energy. So yeah, I guess that is they are the things. I guess the album will be they need to come next year, but I'm paying attention to some songs because I would like to add some voice, and I'm thinking about
Mm.
how to do that too. But I'm working in songs with boys too. I write them. In fact, I read the lyrics too, but I'm thinking about how find the right people, because it's important to think about the show too. It's like, yeah, but if I put just singers from different places, of course, first of all, they need to want to be there. And the second thing is like play that live will be hard. So I don't know. I need
Right.
to take some decisions about that, how to have that ready and have the show, the live show of the whole thing. So yeah, I guess, everything is happening. It's taking more time, of course, because, it's like that when you write music. Takes
Mm.
time, and of course you take time, everything needs to be in the right spot. uh but yeah, I take that with patience, I guess, because I'm doing that. I'm making that takes time. It's like, yeah, I need to save money to the studio to track the drums, and talk with a piano guy too, and
Mm.
everything, so I'm saving, and then the mix session too, because I don't like to mix my own music. So it's money that you need to save. So for the same,
That's
making
right.
lessons to save that, and then pay everything to don't have any problem, and have everything ready. So yeah, for the same reasons, normally takes me more time to release music because normally I need to save money to pay the mix and then everything, and then you have the song, and then I wait into save more money, and then again the next song. But in this case, the full album will be something different because it's more music. It's like
It's
50
all at
minutes of
once.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's 50
50
minutes of
minutes.
music. So
Cool.
yeah, it's something different. It's not just 20 minutes, it's more. So it's like a whole experience. So again, I love that. So that is
That's
the
great,
best thing
man.
of that.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you again for spending this time with me. As we wrap it up, I'd like to know, is there anything that you'd like to impart? Because you've given us so much kind of cool advice along the way here about, how you've gotten to where you're at and the way that you kind of make your way in the world. Is there any advice that you have to the young players? I mean, I know that you just play. I know that part, right? Like, but like if there's if you had to boil it down, is there a couple of things that you might just, tell the young players that are out there that are looking to make their way in this world? What would you tell them?
Yeah. I will be short with that. If you have a dream, just follow the dream because you have just one life. So ask to yourself that which kind of life do you want to have? So having that read in your head, trust me, will be easier to be playing and enjoying this because again, it's important to enjoy this path because it's your life. Because sometimes I used to think about following something, but you stop living. You're just thinking about your dream and things like that. It's important to live everything. So yeah, the dream. If you want to make this, just do that. It's like it's not impossible. If I can do it, I'm example, dude. I'm from Chile, dude. It's like really out. So if I can for this country, dude, you can too. If you are from Africa or whatever, like, dude, just
Uh,
put your effort. We have the phone too, so you can connect. So just
Mm,
put your effort and learn and enjoy, of course, because we can feel that when someone is enjoying that and
mm.
when he's not enjoying that. So yeah, something really
Great
simple.
advice, man. Great advice, Baxty. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all the wisdom and for playing for us and for sharing the techniques. And it's very inspirational. All the things that you're doing and just you showing up in the world this way is like profound, right? So I appreciate that you followed your dream and you continue to follow it. And we're all looking forward to the album, man. This is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, thanks to you for having me. I really enjoy be here talking with you. It's always fantastic and talk about all those things, like guitar and the journey about that, the mindset and things like that. Because sometimes we forget it's not just play guitar, it's like more things happening at the same time.
Right on, brother. Well, till next time, appreciate you,
Yeah.
brother. Have
Thank
a great
you so
day.
much. It was a pleasure, mate. You too. Bye bye.
Players Pick Podcast. Picks and Perspective with Chris Johnson. Perfect. Pathetic.